I still remember the day I left my childhood home like it was yesterday. The old Victorian house on Elm Street had been in my family for generations. But after my parents' messy divorce, the house was left abandoned and still. 20 years went by, and I had all but forgotten the memories of my youth. Until the day I received a call from a lawyer's office informing me that the house was mine, left to me by a distant relative I had never met. I was hesitant at first, but something compelled me to return to the place where my childhood was spent. As I stepped out of the car and onto the cracked driveway, a chill ran down my spine. The house looked exactly as I had left it. The same faded yellow paint, the same creaky porch, and the same eerie feeling that something was watching me from the windows. I pushed the thought aside and began to explore the house, room by room, remembering the countless hours I spent playing in the attic, the backyard, and the basement. But it was the basement that brought back the most memories, and the most terror. As a child, I would often sneak down into the basement, despite my parents' warnings, and play among the old trunks and dusty boxes. But there was one thing that I had forgotten. Something that I had tried to bury deep in my mind. The voice. It was a low, raspy voice that seemed to come from all around me, whispering my name. Timmy, come and play. I had always thought it was just my imagination. But as I stood in the musty basement, I could have sworn I heard it again. Timmy, come and play. My heart racing. I tried to shake off the feeling of unease, telling myself it was just the wind or the creaks and groans of the old house. But as I made my way back up to the main floor, I noticed something strange. The windows, which had been closed when I arrived, were now open, and the curtains were billowing in the wind. I was certain I had not opened them, and a shiver ran down my spine as I wondered if someone, or something, had been in the house with me. As night began to fall, I decided to stay in the house, to face whatever fears I had been trying to suppress. I locked all the doors and windows, and settled in for the night, trying to distract myself with a book. But as I lay in bed, I could feel eyes upon me. And the voice? It seemed to be getting louder, more insistent. Timmy, come and play. I tried to ignore it, but it was no use. I had to go and investigate. I threw off the covers and made my way back down to the basement, the voice growing louder with each step. As I reached the bottom of the stairs, I saw something that made my blood run cold. Our old, rusty swing set, covered in dust and cobwebs, was swaying back and forth, as if someone was sitting on it. And then, I saw it, a small, childlike figure, with eyes that glowed like embers, was sitting on the swing, staring at me. I tried to scream, but my voice was frozen in my throat. The figure began to swing higher and higher, the voice growing louder, until it was almost deafening. Timmy, come and play. And then, everything went black. When I came to, I was lying on the floor, my head throbbing with pain. The house was quiet, the voice was gone, and the swing set was still. But as I stumbled back up to the main floor, I saw something that made my heart sink. A photo, taken 20 years ago, was sitting on the kitchen table. It was a picture of me, as a child, sitting on the same swing set, with the same eerie grin on my face. And underneath the photo, a message was scrawled, in my own handwriting. I've been waiting.